Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. We're going to talk about XRP and the points that make sense to how the liquidity, the on-demand liquidity, is going to be impacted. I'm on the Faisal Khan's YouTube channel. He had a good video on Sunday touching the importance of liquidity inside the Ripplenet. He understands how the liquidity providers need access to banking and the proper licenses, and he's learning, and I appreciate all of the education that he's bringing to the space. But I do want to tell you that there is a new liquidity provider in town that has added XRP, and that is an exchange out of San Francisco called the FTX, and they added XRP to their spot, their futures, and their perpetual contracts. FTX, this is big. It's backed by the same person who founded Alameda Research. Alameda is the largest liquidity provider and market maker in the crypto space. They do 600 million to 1 billion in trades per day, roughly 5% of the global volume. They also do roughly 30 million a day just in OTC. FTX is very, very liquid, and only BitMEX BTC perpetual futures, that one offering, is more liquid. And the brains behind these exchanges and the research group, Google, MIT, Facebook, Credit Suisse, PayPal, most of them have math and science degrees. This is also a group that is backed by Binance, Greylock, and the Liquid Capital in China. This is big stuff, everybody. And I know we're going to take a look at that licensing requirement. The exchange is expected to be the most important exchange in DeFi liquidity, in spot and futures, and it's going to trounce Coinbase, according to an article that was written yesterday. This is due to the mission critical bugs that have been pointed out on Coinbase. That came from an article by Crypto Briefing. It is a quality article, and it is something that I think if you are interested in, you can find it by just Googling. Now let's take a look at their licensing, because this is an important part, as Faisal tells us. So the FTX US is registered as a money service business with FinCEN, and they are compliant with the requirements of the Bank Secrecy Act, the BSA, and they are currently applying to obtain money transmitter licenses from multiple states within the United States. So I think this is something that was updated 3 months ago. I'm sure if you do a little bit of research, you can see if they have obtained any of those licenses, but I have no doubt that they're going to get multiple licenses just because of the power behind. So talking about Crypto Briefing, Sam who is with To the Life Bolts on his YouTube channel, he had a wonderful live stream today with one of the writers on Crypto Briefing, Anton Tarasov, and they really broke down an article that he wrote, and you know, it just doesn't get better than what Sam does when he really dives deep. And I think that the person who wrote this, Anton, was really good, and it was a fantastic intellectual conversation without emotion, and it really just looked at a lot of this in a very deep way. I highly recommend this video. I just so thankful for both of them, actually. Okay, on Saturday, July 18th, there was the G20 Finance Ministers Central Bank Governor Meeting. It was held virtually, and I think you're going to be able to find a communique out there. I found the one here for that was put out by the Ministry of Finance in Japan. It's really hard to find a video on this, but I did find one that came out of Saudi Arabia. It's just about 26 minutes long. It's mostly the Q&A. There is some English, and then there is some translated. I'll put a link to it in case you're interested, because I think it's like the only video out there to watch. It took me a long time to find this one, but the economic activity, as they point out, it's really expected to contract sharply. And in this communique on point 13 of 16 points, they are talking about the need to enhance global cross-border payment arrangements. They need to be a lower cost, they need to be faster, they need to be more transparent. And yeah, I sometimes feel like we're always going down this road of blah, 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 because there is a roadmap that's going to be done on how to achieve this. And that will be brought to the October 2020 meeting. I don't know. Sometimes I think it's just frustrating how long it takes these entities to make a change. Now, the World Bank estimated that there would be 20% decrease in cross-border remittances, but on July 7th, the think tank here in Japan, JICA, which stands for the Japan International Corporation Agency, they have a think tank that did a study out of Sadako Research, and it found that the inflows have really been cut by a lot more, up to a little bit over 30%. So I think it's really more severe than the World Bank anticipated. But despite the slowdown, the Bank of Thailand doesn't stop. They revealed on Thursday that they have already rolled out their bank cryptocurrency with some big businesses. This is the central bank, and it is a digital currency, the CDBC, and it is in use, and it's being used for financial transactions with some big businesses. Now, they didn't let those business names known because this has happened prior to the official planned public debut that they are going to have with Hong Kong in September. But the governments and the heads to be, they revealed that no, we're actually doing it already. They're thinking about expanding the use to the general public, but they want to study that a little bit more. They want to see what the effects are on the local and commercial banks. So they're still evaluating the pros and cons for public use. Wow. So DNI, the digital nomad investor, you are living in quite a progressive country. I can't wait to talk to you about that and also this story that I'm about to point out. This is the Siam Commercial Bank. It is their Bank Easy app, and it runs on Ripplenet, and it's used for international money transfers. And they just added another service. This, I'm telling you, this is the first of a lot of marketplaces that are going to be built to make sure that those products that Ripple is building is being used, and so that the on-demand liquidity has a chance to really take off. So in order to understand what I'm talking about here, I need to set that up. I'm going to have you listen to David Schwartz. He's speaking on a Blockdown TV interview about 3 weeks ago. And I know Ripple has figured it out, and so has the Siam Commercial Bank. Let me just cue it up to 204. Listen carefully, and then I will tell you how it's being done in Thailand.
So the dance that we're in is trying to grow an industry so that there is a group of people who can use the products and services we're building, so that we don't just have to build the products and services, we actually have to build the market for them.
All right, short, but it's to the point. You can't just build, you just can't build the internet Ripplenet rails and then say we have XRP, the on-demand liquidity, without having a marketplace that is viable, healthy, robust to use it. All right. And I think Ripple figured it out. You have to build a market for them. And that's why I think you're seeing a lot of talk about the possible DeFi financial services or loans that Ripple is looking at. And if you understand that you have to drive the use case of the digital asset XRP, and also drive the use of their technology, you must make and build the market. And the Siam Commercial Bank has done just that. And they did it just in the very first step. I mean, this is just the first step of what I can see in the future as something huge. And just take this one little use case and roll that out globally, and it's mind-blowing. Okay, let's take a look what it is. Because you're going to think, wow, just through a food delivery app? Yes, just through a food delivery app. This is an app called Robinhood. So it's the same idea as Uber Eats, except there's no commission. All right? They used, the Siam Commercial Bank used their like 10,000 small to medium-sized businesses that are in the food business. They used this to set up the initial marketplace, and instead, they're giving them the ability to get orders for their food with no fee. If you think about it, Uber, they take like 30%. It's a huge hit on the small to medium-sized businesses that are trying to stay alive, especially in these particular challenging days that we're in. And the pain point for the restaurants with that fee is huge. And then because Robinhood is tied into their Easy app, the restaurant, the small business restaurant, gets paid in 1 hour. Can you believe it? So you're talking about driving serious value straight to the small and medium-sized enterprises that are your banking clients. And those restaurants getting the money in their accounts in 1 hour, this is something. This is really, really something. And it's just the beginning. Um, it, think about this. And I know that the CEO has really given it a lot of thought. Let me just show you though. The food business, since all this social distancing has taken place, has really been explosive in terms of the food delivery in Thailand. This is a food court, and you'll see that most of these people here, you can tell by their clothes, are actual employees of those delivery services. The green here, that is a really big company called Grab. And the people who are in the pink, that is a group called Food Panda. And the people who are in the red, that is Lala Move. So of everybody sitting there waiting for the food to be done, is like 95% of the delivery services. I'm wondering if DNI uses this delivery service. I want to ask them that. So you think about the percentage, the 30 to 35% of the fees that impacts those small to medium-sized businesses that are running the kitchens for the food. That's a tremendous amount of their profit being taken. So they have collaborated, the Siam Commercial Bank has collaborated with this company here. It is called Skuta, and Skuta will be doing the delivery. Now remember, Ashish Burla in June talked about how the SMEs could be more sticky for payments. This is about as sticky as you get. Think how valuable the banking relationship is now with those small to medium-sized businesses who have a app that gives them, it drives delivery business out of their location. They're paid in 1 hour and they don't have a fee on top of that. This is really just the beginning. It's incredible. It's genius. And the CEO of the Siam Commercial Bank, he is way ahead of everybody. So put your thinking cap on. Just think of all the businesses that you could drive through this payment app. So when you think about building also in a cross-border service environment, it's very appealing, and you can solve your customers' needs by doing that with just a simple app. I'll give you just one example. If you step into other fields, and you are doing it in terms of creating more customer engagement. Imagine that you then go and attract new suppliers of ingredients, domestic and foreign, to bring lower cost, their food costs, to those SMEs that bank with you. So you're creating more payments across that app. You're growing their business. You're making them more profitable. You're bringing them to a level then that they are able to actually qualify for loans. So you can then expand into lending to all those participants, and not just the banking customer, but also the participants that are selling the ingredients to them from either domestic sources or foreign sources. This is the future, everyone. And this is an example of building a marketplace so that there is need to actually use that technology that Ripple has built. And then, of course, the use case for the digital asset XRP for all of the cross-border remittances that take place within that SME economy. It's big. It's big. You're talking about taking a successful business model and duplicating it through a localized version in many countries all around the world. This is the future, everyone. This is the future. Okay, I am going to just kind of back up a little bit what I said yesterday when I said that VeChain had a partnership with Nike. Well, they have a partnership with a company who license a Nike product. So I'm sorry if I misled you to think that. VeChain has a tremendous amount of high-profile customers, but with the shoes, they have done these deals where they are authenticating the Nike and also Adidas last year shoes to make sure that if you do purchase one, you are getting an authentic product and not a knockoff. And they do it through these smart chips. Anyway, I wanted to be sure to clarify that. And thanks to all of you who brought that to my attention, that my story was a little confusing. That was like that they had done a deal with Nike. And this is just one of the ones that they did with Adidas back in April 2019. And this is kind of fun. The second VeChain community video contests are in. This is a group of, I think, 10 that made the final short list. They are such high quality. There is going to be a prize fund with, I think it's 3 million VET. And the ones that have made the final are super slick, professional. I mean, these are real film and motion picture graphic creatives that is impressive. The point of the competition was to spread the word of VeChain, but even I think all the ones that made this final cut, they're all winners. They're all very good. I watched them all. I'm going to put a link to this down in the description too as well. All right, everybody. Yeah, I want to jump to the fluff. So yesterday sumo started. The tournament is in Tokyo, and I think you might have seen where I almost bought a ticket and I had my mouse ready to click, but I didn't buy the ticket because I thought probably not such a good idea because the numbers are actually going in the wrong direction here in Tokyo. So I decided to watch it from home. But so many changes have been made to the sport. This is actually the prep room, and you can see if you look carefully, you'll find the acrylic dividers in between these areas where they sit here to get their hair done. Yeah, this is the room that they prepare in, and they'll sit on this little wood portion of the walkway, and then they have each stable has a tokoya-san, which is like a barber who does their hair, and that is an art form too that takes years and years and years to perfect, and it is also sometimes passed down as a craft within a family. Here they are doing their kind of mental prep work, and they are doing their social distancing. You can see they also have acrylic dividers in between each space here. This is a young Gyoji. He's a referee, and everybody's wearing masks. You get your temperature checked before you come in. This is the NHK booth, and this is for their TV commentators. They too have an acrylic panel that divides the two of them, and only one person per seat. Usually that Masu has 4 people in it, but now only one person allowed to sit in the box. That is Enho. That is the kanji for the smallest wrestler in sumo, who I'm always following. And then if you come down and get a shot at the most expensive seats, which are the ones that are closest to the ring, nobody is sitting in those. And this is Enho on the left. He is the smallest wrestler in the upper ranks, and unfortunately I have to tell you, he got thrown out. Yeah, very sad to see. He opened up his tournament with a loss, but well, he has until next 2 weeks to go, so he still has time. And then I thought, probably not well known to a lot of you is how important the arts are for a sumo wrestler too. So they have to learn calligraphy. They have to also learn music. Um, this is a sport with a lot of discipline. And I just thought this is one fun stable. This is Koto Oshu. He was an Ozeki. He's from Bulgaria. He's one of the few that made it to that high rank. This is his stable now, so he's an oyakata. And like a school who has a school song, the sumo stables also have their own song that they sing. And I thought, oh, this will be fun just to hear just a little bit of this. Yeah, I won't put you through anymore. It's these are all very young wrestlers. You can see they are not even most of them right out of some maybe right out of college, or maybe some right out of high school. They don't even have their hair long enough now to even go on top. I wonder, I really was a big fan of Koto Oshu. I don't know what his reputation is of an oyakata, if he's really strict or if he's good. And I'm actually not sure how his stable's doing, if he's got any up and coming winners. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've been away for a little bit. And then here is Hakuho. He is the grand champion. And this is where they're singing and actually having a little more fun with it. But it's a traditional sumo song, and this is one I just wanted you to hear too. Have a listen to this. They're having a little more fun in this one. That was one of their very traditional ones. And then I just want to have you listen to one of the most famous, one of the oldest. This one probably dates back to the Edo period. It's called All Kinds of Flowers and Hana Zukushi, and you really want to hear this. That talk, if you read the words, it's going through the seasons month by month of all the beauty that comes by the way of a bloom. Very poetic. It's actually in a 7775 syllable. So, the poems, haiku, etc., have different uh, parameters of how they are written. Tanka is one, haiku is one. So the sumo jinku is what it's called. Traditional sumo song also has this 7775. That's the pattern for theirs. And this is really lovely. All right, just a little bit of it.
花集めて真空に読めばよ。正月ことほぐ福寿草。2月に咲くのが梅の花。3月桜や4月藤。5月あやめに柿つばた。6月ボタンにもちょよ。7月の山に咲く萩の。8月お盆で初の花。桔梗かるかやおみなえし。冬は水仙玉つばき。あまためいかのある中で自慢で抱いた太鼓
判. I want to listen to the whole thing, but I won't put you through it in case you had enough. I'm going to show you on my coil some of my treasures. I have been following sumo and eating with some of the wrestlers, partying with some of the wrestlers, going to the tournaments for years, and I have collected quite a collection. I haven't brought my collection out in years. I did today, and I'm going to upload some of my favorite pieces on my coil. I should have that done within, I can get it done in about 2 hours. All right, so please visit, and so you can see my treasures. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.